You won't believe it, Louisa just wants a nice meal, but the waiter says only top members can enter. Theming, she asks if there's another restaurant nearby. The caption shows the waiter recommended a roadside food stall, and Louisa kept complaining without stopping, which made Will feel extremely ashamed. On their way back home, Louisa sneakily checks Will's expression, worrying he might be mad, so she hands him 2 concert tickets, deciding this time to ditch. With just the 2 of them, Louisa persuades Will, who pretends to be reluctant, yet he's secretly beaming. Louisa starts to carefully choose her outfit, with her sister suggesting a red dress, while Will dusts off his old suit and removes the scarf, instantly looking much sharper. It's Louisa's first concert. As they settle in, Will suddenly feels his collar is uncomfortable. Louisa, with all her might, bites off the thread in front of everyone. As the classical music begins, Will can't help but sneak a glance at Louisa. At night, they make their way back to the castle, but Will is hesitating to get out of the car, and Louisa doesn't decline. So they sit in the car for a long time. Maybe Will has already seen Louisa as his best friend, while having a picnic outside. Louisa makes a request. Next week is her birthday, and she hopes Will can join the dinner. She knows Will isn't fond of meeting strangers. She feels a bit awkward making this request, but Will surprisingly agrees without hesitation. Louisa's parents are incredibly warm about Will's arrival. The family gathers around the table, feeling all kinds of pride. Will feels like he's experiencing a normal life, and while chatting, he accidentally hears something embarrassing. Louisa's dad lost his job because of Will buying out his company. But the dad doesn't mind and thanks Will for. After dinner, the family has a variety of birthday gifts prepared, but Will's gift is the most unique, a pair of bright yellow and black bumble. Louisa, thrilled, dashes upstairs to try them on, all while silently thanking Will. Since his paralysis, Will hasn't been this happy in a long time. Louisa is still plotting to take Will on a trip, but Will receives an invitation to his ex-girlfriend's wedding, which brings Louisa to a place where Will had his first kiss, Louisa's childhood favourite place, but in Will's mind. Subtitles is a more charming place. Will misses his old self. Going now would only draw stares, even for the wheelchair battery. Wouldn't be enough to take him there. Will believes he should go where his ex-girlfriend's wedding is happening. When Louisa gets home from work, she finds her parents are about to head out to celebrate, as Will has secured her dad a suite. Louisa quickly calls Will, unsure of how to express her gratitude. Will did this hoping one day Louisa could chase her dreams without worrying about being tied down by family. Before attending the wedding, Will meets with a mysterious suited. Louisa does some online searching and discovers the man is Will's will consultant. She immediately senses something is off and quickly informs Will's mom. It seems Louisa's companionship hasn't swayed Will's decision, and on the day of the ex-wedding, they arrive right on time. Seeing the woman he once loved, Will weeps in the audience. Louisa wants to comfort, but is at a loss for words. Will used to have countless admirers by his side, but now few can even greet him. When friends catch sight of Louisa, they simply can't resist praising her beauty. That very evening, the bride and groom step onto the dance floor, captivating the guests with their stunning dance performance. Louisa meets the bride's godmother, who mainly oversees the bride's moral conduct. She blames herself, seeing only Will as worthy of lifelong commitment among guests, yet the bride chooses Louisa over him. She tells Louisa to take good care of Will, insisting her judgment is absolutely reliable. Just then, Will's ex comes over to say hi. To get Will off the hook, Louisa hatches the plan. Maybe due to drinks, Louisa sits on Will's lap and they dance, ignoring onlookers. Will muses that if he weren't in a wheelchair, they would have never gotten this close. Louisa teases him. If you weren't paralyzed, you wouldn't even come near me. You'd have tons of blondes around while I'd just be the tea girl. The 2 of them joyfully escape the wedding, racing through the fields in their wheelchairs, reveling in the magic of the night sky. Not until the next day does Will return to the castle. Nathan notices his oddness may be from drinking. He seems feverish, yet Will enjoys himself. Soon, Louisa gets a text from Nathan. Will suffers pneumonia and is hospitalized. Louisa hurries to the hospital, finding Will stable. He has had pneumonia 4 times in 2 years, and the last time almost cost him his life. Will's body is just too fragile. Even a small cold easily triggers pneumonia, making him suffer endlessly. By nightfall, Louisa cancels all her plans. Actually, Nathan knew Will's agreement long ago and had a tough few years. He deliberately hides his pain in front of others, and countless nights, Nathan hears Will scream, perhaps in his dreams. Will still runs and skis. But the huge gap between dreams and reality leaves Nathan speechless. So, he honors the agreement that Will had established. Will you come along with us? O grov letter 1b6 I umlaut a circumflex citadel letter 3ca or u umlaut sal 80 so umlaut I circumflex a umlaut or I circumflex a umlaut Armenian shall letter 2b punit sign turned direct reflex a quarter a umlaut ege citadel I umlaut u acute e grov letter 777 u circumflex I umlaut su reliclet for ab so citadel su reliclet for b1 yum corner quarter I la acute ued umlaut micro yen get to dc not sign symbol 3680 y acute a half condition improves a quarter O grov letter 3ca gets better punit sign the 3 a quarter O grov letter 3ca the trio punit sign embark on a quarter O grov letter 3ca set off £8 copyright. This is Will's last chance to change his mind, as Louisa's contract is about to expire. In the hotel, Will is no longer alone. Every time he wakes up, Louisa is by his side, and the beach view is picture perfect. Nathan is surfing, while Louisa enjoys sunbathing with Will. This trip not only brings comfort to Will, but also makes him feel truly happy. Of course, Nathan also found his love. That night, it rained heavily. Louisa tried to close the window, but was stopped by Will. She enjoys the feeling of freedom, but at Will's request, she decides to stay indoors. If you like this story, subscribe to my channel and let's discover life's wonders together.